Unit 4, linear and absolute value functions, question number 4. So question number 4 wants us to represent the resulting graph of the absolute value function when we're given an equation for the general form for absolute values. So things you need to remember is that an absolute value function looks like a V shape, okay, or an upside down V, where whenever it's a V shape, that means that it has a positive leading coefficient. So leading means that it's in front, coefficient means number. So if you put it together, leading number in front would be the leading coefficient. Okay, so in front of you is technically a positive 1, so it's a positive leading coefficient. Whenever it's facing down, it would be a negative leading coefficient. So here would be a negative 1 in front. Okay, so what we're going to do is that we're going to go ahead and try to draw this absolute value function, which starts at the origin. The origin of a function is at the center point 0, 0. So that's where my absolute value function is going to start, or the vertex is going to be. So we're going to put out a coordinate 0, 0. And then we're going to draw our V shape, because again, in front of you is a positive 1, so that means it's going to be a V shape, okay? So then now, the question says, graph the function that will represent the transformation. So what you need to do is that you need to remember the general form for transformations, which is f of x minus h parentheses plus k, where the number inside of the parentheses tells you, you have to always do the opposite of it, and it tells you a direction, and direction is left or right, okay? The number on the outside tells you, or rather you always have to do the same, and it tells you what direction. It tells you up or down, okay? So in this case, there's no number, or there is a number inside of the parentheses. Inside of the parentheses is a negative 4. A negative 4 would normally means you're going to move to more of the left side, because again, the negative numbers are on the left side. So, so in this case, I would move 4 to the left normally. So normally, okay, I would move 4 left, okay, or left 4. But because you have to always do the opposite, okay, we're going to actually go to the right 4. Okay, so then now you ask yourself, is there a number on the outside of the absolute value, or on the outside of the parentheses, I mean? No, there's no number on the outside of the parentheses, so that means it does not go up or down. Okay, so in this case, all I would do is I would go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and that's where my vertex, where all points meet, would be. So again, I just graph the absolute value function, and it would look something like this. Okay, so you can also change the coordinate in the same way. So what you need to remember is that the number inside of the parentheses, so inside parentheses changes x, and outside parentheses changes y. Okay, so those are the things you need to remember. So in this question, guys, there's a number inside the parentheses, so that's going to change the x. But instead of subtracting 4, I'm going to add 4 to the x value. So I add 4 to that x value, the y value would stay the same, so my new coordinate would be 4, 0, and that's what this coordinate is right here, 4, 0. Okay, so let's try the next one. So the next one, again, we have our absolute value function that starts at the origin, and the coordinate for origin is 0, 0. So this is where I would start, and then I would draw my absolute value, and an absolute value looks like a V. Okay, and then now I'm going to try to apply the general format, which is f of x minus h parentheses plus k, where the h value, you always do the opposite, and it tells you the direction left or right. The k value, you always do the same, and it tells you another direction. It tells you up or down. Okay, so in this case, is there a number inside of the parentheses? No, there is no number inside the parentheses. So does that mean I'm going to go left or right? No, I'm not going to go left or right. but there is a number on the outside that's a positive 2, so that means I am going either up or down. Because it is a positive 2, normally, okay, we will go up 2 units. Okay, we don't do the opposite of this, so we're just gonna go up 2 units from the vertex. So up 1, 2 units, that's where my new vertex would be, and then I just draw my absolute value function. Okay, so again, just like that. So then we could also change the coordinate, okay, because remember the number on the outside affects the y value, so I just need to do the same as it, just adding 2, so it would be 0, 2 for the new coordinate, because again you change the y value, and here the coordinate for this is 0, 2. Okay, so let's try the next one. So the next one, again, we have our origin, or our absolute value function that's at the origin. The reason why the origin is 0, 0 is because inside of here is technically no number or 0, and outside of here is no number or 0. So then we have our absolute value function. That looks something like this. Then we're going to go ahead and transform it using the general format f of x minus h parentheses plus k, where the h value, you always do the opposite of it, and it tells you a direction, left or right. Okay, the number on the outside, we always do the same, and it tells you another direction, tells you up or down. Okay, so then now I'm going to go ahead and look at this. So inside of here we have a number on the inside of the parentheses, so that means I am going left or right. In this case, normally when it's a positive number, that means you're moving to where all the positive numbers are, so that would be moving to the right 2. But because you always do the opposite, we're going to actually go left 2 units. Okay, and then is there a number on the outside? Yes, there is a number on the outside. So normally, the number on the outside tells you up or down, and normally with a negative 5, that means you're going to go down 5. Okay, and do we do the opposite of this number on the outside? No. So I'll go to the left 1, 2, and then down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is where my new coordinate would be, and then I just draw my absolute value function from there. Okay, so just like that. And again, you could change it with the coordinate. So here you do the opposite of adding 2. So subtract 2 from your x, because the inside number, inside the parentheses, changes x, and then the outside number changes y. So I subtract 5 because I do the same as that. 0 minus 2 is negative 2, and 0 minus 5 is negative 5. This is the coordinate negative 2, negative 5. Okay, so I'm going to pause my camera as you guys try to do the next 2 questions, and then I'll show you guys the answers with the coordinates as well. Alrighty guys, so here are all the answers. So this is what 4 would be. Okay, alright, and then this is what 5 would be. You can pause the video to check, and then finally this is what 6 would be. So again guys, just like that.